It's back to the future for electric cars. First developed nearly 2 centuries ago, electric cars were quieter and easier to start than their gasoline cousins. But since they couldn't go very far on a single charge, they soon died out. Now, thanks to improved technology and concern for the environment, the electric car, with its zero emissions, is staging a dramatic comeback.
It really is, we think, a revolution in the electrification of the vehicle.
This is the Chevrolet Volt, a new kind of hybrid electric that you charge up by simply plugging into an outlet.
You'll plug it in the evening when you get home.
Just in the garage.
You'll be able to go into your garage, you'll have an installed plug, and you'll charge it overnight, and then the next day on what for most people is their daily commute, you can go 40 miles on electric-only range.
And you can keep going for another 400 miles or so, thanks to a gas-powered generator on board that recharges the battery. The Volt on display at this electric car conference in Raleigh is expected to get up to 100 miles to the gallon. But the holy grail, according to General Motors' head of research and development, is to eliminate the need for gasoline altogether.
Our goal, though, as GM, is really to wean ourselves off petroleum, to address the CO2 issue, to address energy diversity.
A pretty lofty goal, but it turns out North Carolina is at the forefront of efforts to achieve it. Raleigh is one of the first 3 cities in the country selected for Project Get Ready, a pilot program aimed at speeding the way to adopting electric transportation.
We've got the support, the incredible support of Progress Energy and Duke Energy, the support of the City of Raleigh, and we banded together and said, we're going to make this happen.
The first step to make that happen is installing charging stations around town, the electric equivalent of a gas station. A prototype is already up and running at the Advanced Transportation Energy Center, part of a group created by the National Science Foundation to revolutionize the electric car industry. It is headquartered at North Carolina State University.
Essentially, we're considered the Silicon Valley of the East, right? Well, we also have very strong electric utilities in the state. Duke Power, Progress Energy, Dominion Power, the electric cooperatives, they're all very interested in developing these technologies to use electricity smarter, to use energy smarter.
10 charging stations similar to this will be placed in key areas around the triangle, including parking garages, so you can charge your car while at work.
What we're doing is we're helping to figure out how communities, businesses, and the towns and the utility, how everybody's going to work together to bring these charging stations and make them available to the public.
Ken Delaney is with Advanced Energy, a nonprofit devoted to energy efficiency and part of the NC Get Ready team. He says it's no secret how important this trial run is, that if electric transportation works here, it can probably work anywhere.
Honestly, I think it's inevitable that we certainly plan to succeed here in Raleigh. Even if it takes us a little bit longer, I think that it's inevitable that we will eventually all be driving some sort of electrified transportation.
That might be a Chevy Volt or perhaps the Nissan EV, the first all-electric car with a range of about 100 miles. Or it might be one like this, a traditional hybrid with an added battery pack for a longer range. Organizers hope to see lots of electric cars on the road in North Carolina, but with the price of a Volt expected to be about $40,000, that could be a tough sell in a tight economy. Still, they hope consumers will look past the price tag and consider the environmental payback, driving a car that in electric mode has zero emissions.
You might look at it through the lens of actually feeling very good that you're sitting in parked on I-40, parked I'm saying, on I-40.
No one feels good when they're parked on I-40.
And you're not emitting anything. You might feel good about that.
Meanwhile, U.S. Representative Bobby Etheridge says you can also feel good that North Carolina is playing such a big part in this green revolution.
North Carolina is going to be the center for what's called the green industry, or or the really change that we're taking place. I really think this whole industry is going to be a huge growth industry for a lot of small businesses, many of them right here in this state.
The federal government is fueling that growth with a $2.4 billion pledge for electric car research, as well as tax breaks for consumers.
There is currently a federal tax incentive that's up to $7,500 off of the purchase price of the vehicle if it's a qualifying plug-in hybrid electric vehicle.
But even with all that, can this electric revolution really work? No one knows yet, but it's what NC Get Ready aims to find out.
People have lots of questions. Is the technology going to work? Is it right for me? How much is it going to cost? There's also an infrastructure barrier. You know, where are we going to plug all these things in? What are the barriers to us getting those installed?
Important questions to be sure, and experts say it will take time to answer them. But organizers of this electric revolution say they're charged up about North Carolina helping to lead the way.
As I told someone, back to the future.